Hey, it's your girl Kia with a bit of truth, and today's topic is childhood career choices versus adult career reality. And today, the hosts I have with me are,
What it do, y'all? It's your girl Dan.
And your girl Smiles, what's up?
Hey, it's your girl O.
all right, and then I'm going to start us off. So, for me growing up, and I know everybody can vouch for this, everybody's asked the same exact question when you're like in kindergarten, first grade. Your teacher asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? For me, I just knew that I wanted to be an accountant because I loved money, I loved numbers, and I loved math. So it only made sense to me to go in that direction. However, after all the trials and tribulations that I've been through and the realization that math ain't it sucks and it's hard as fuck, I was like, I no longer want to be an accountant. So what I did was I decided because of all that I've been through in my personal life, I chose to study psychology. So as an adult, that's the career path that I'm on to become a licensed psychologist. And I'm almost there. Almost there. I got one more degree to get and I'll be able to obtain my license to be a licensed psychologist. I just feel like when you're in the field of psychology, you have to have been through some shit to actually help somebody else. I personally don't want to go to a therapist that ain't been through some shit, to give me the generic or the basic coping mechanisms or techniques to get through things. No, I want to be able to relate to my patients and understand, the hurt and things like that because I've been through some shit. So that's the career path that I chose as an adult. Then what did you choose?
So, during career day, it was always career day. You had to sit there with your notebook and everything, and then people used to come in and, hey, I'm so and so, and I'm this and I'm that. It was this one person that said to me that I had to have my plan A, plan B, and if all that fails, plan C. So my plan A, I really wanted to be a basketball player. I wanted to go pro. I wanted to go to the WNBA. I was playing basketball, but it's like it's better when your teachers don't know that's what you're trying to do. And the only reason why I'm trying to say that is because my coach went on my 10th grade year. My coach went and talked to one of my teachers, and the teacher started grading my papers hard. And I'm like, hold on. But if I said peanut butter and the answer was peanut, you could have gave that to me. Like, come on now, come on now. Like where's the little leniency? You know what I mean? Give me a point, give me a half point, give me something. Oh no, it's wrong. Like they started grading me hard. And it was like, all right, I ended up giving up on that dream because I always remember it was a plan A, plan B, and plan C. So I remember seeing a police officer in front of me, and I was like, I like that uniform. Oh, a gun. Hmm. But I was always a ruly kid, so it was like having a gun. All everybody who know me as a kid would say, "Who trusts you with a gun?" But it was just the fact that I ended up choosing that one after my uncle said to me that I will be a good fit for that because we don't have that in our family. You know what I mean? After my great great grandfather passed away, who did military, passed away, it's no longer with the new generation that we're doing that. So he was saying me being the last generation with the upcoming generation because you got my grandma and then you got her kids and then I'm the next kid. Her kids didn't choose that path. So I'm the current generation for the family because no one has had kids underneath the grandkids. She don't have any great grandkids. So I chose the field as being a police officer, but I went to school for criminal justice. I got 63 college credits. I was on the dean's list. I had a GPA of 305. I didn't get to finish because my school shut down. So I got to go back to school, and hopefully, because I was in a celebrated program, that hopefully that I will be closer to getting my degree of associate's degree so that I can move forward with that. But most of the police departments out here are not looking for degrees anymore. So that's a plus. But like I'm in I'm in the DMV area, Washington, DC, Virginia, Maryland area. So the only area that requires you to have college credits is DC. And it's only requiring you to have 60 college credits, and I already have that. So I can actually move into that area. But see is that sometimes police officers pass away on the job, and they could be in a circumstance of passing away or dying because somebody that shot them, or they wasn't quick enough with the gun, or they didn't think it all the way through. I don't really want to do that part of it. I don't want to be a street cop. I don't want to have to deal with domestic violence and someone blowing up a building. I want to go into a different aspect of it. And I was thinking about going back to school to get at least my bachelor's or my master's so I can become within the CIA. But right now, I do security. I work in a government building, and I mean I like my job somewhat. Don't tell nobody. But what you think, Smiles?
When I was growing up, the question, like he said, was what did what you want to be when you grow up? And I always chose animals, even before I was old enough to know the word, which is veterinarian, learn how to spell it, the meaning of it. Before I even knew what that word was, I always chose animals, then once I got the word down packed, it was veterinarian. However, life happened, and it happens really, really bad. Like when life gets you, it gets you really bad. So for me, it's not about me losing interest in the field. It's about timing. For me, it's like, do I have enough time to pursue that? You know, and to pursue it well, because I always wanted to not just be a veterinarian, but I wanted to travel. I wanted to work with wildlife. I didn't want to just deal with domestic animals, cats, dogs, ferrets and guinea pigs and all that stuff. I wanted to work with the big dogs like Jack Hanna. I wanted to be with the lions, the tigers, the bears. Like I wanted to be travel around the world. But being that life happened, like I mentioned before, I don't feel like I have enough time to do that. However, I do want to still partake in that field. I still want to become a veterinarian and, you know, travel, be a mobile vet, on call and stuff like that. But I also now I want to do other things. I want to be a massage therapist. I'm in security now. I'm a security guard. And I don't know, like becoming a security guard opened my mind to so many things. So now I want to further my career. I want to become an armed guard, but working in the building, the corporate building that I'm working in, now I want to do what they do. So now it's like I'm all over the place. Like I want to do so much now. And I feel like, am I running out of time? Can I do everything that I want to do? Or is it too late? Or am I living in the 20s. Do I feel like I'm 20 years old when I'm really not? Or, so for me, it's about timing. Do I have enough time to do all these things that I want to do now? I don't know, but that's just how I feel right now. But oh, what you got to say?
For me, let's see, what did I want to be when when I was growing up? I wanted to be a police officer. Um, I wanted to save people. I wanted to help people. But over the years, that changed because of things that I saw around me. And what I saw was a lot of criminal activity. And I just didn't want to be the person to have to lock up someone that I knew, whether it be family, friends, or acquaintance. Like I wanted to be able to do my job right if I was going to be a police officer. But because I knew these people personally and I cared about them, I just couldn't see myself doing that. So in high school, I got into ROTC and I lived in Virginia for a little while and I lived in Massachusetts for a little while. So in Virginia, I did Army ROTC, and in Massachusetts, I did Marine ROTC. And I love both of them. And it made me want to go into the military after school. But, I got pregnant, and when I decided to go, I went for the physical and the aptitude test. I did all of that. Um, I just couldn't leave my firstborn son. Like he was like a year and a half, and the recruiter sitting at my table and my son's, playing at my leg and I'm looking at him and, talking to the recruiter and I'm like, I don't think I could do this. Like I can't leave my son. So I end up exploring other things. Like I knew I wanted to try to work in the medical field like my mom. So I went to school for a medical assistant. But when I got out of school, nobody was trying to hire anybody who was fresh out of school. So I didn't do anything with that education. So I ended up driving school buses, which my father drives. And I loved it. And, it made me feel closer to my father and my father's father, my papa. So, and it helped out with as far as my kids. But I end up doing a lot of different things because I had a family and I just had to work jobs that worked with my schedule. Because, my kid's father, he was about working and paying the bills. It was up to me to make sure that the kids got to and from daycare, that I was home with them to feed them and so forth. But I also had to help with the bills too. So I had a lot on my plate. So I had to make sure I worked a good job that worked with my schedule. So driving the bus actually worked good because when the kids were in school, I worked when they were in school. And then when they were out of school, I didn't work. So it worked out. And I also worked daycare. And my kids, when they were little, they came with me to my job at daycare. And my grandmother did daycare. And I used to go with her when I was younger. So I think for me, like my resume is super long. Um, for me, I think what I grew up around, that's what I did. Although, like I said, I picked jobs to suit my needs at the time, my circumstances, so I could be there for my children and my family. Um, but like currently, I'm pursuing the medical field again. And some might ask why I'm not, trying to use my medical assistant diploma. Well, it's because there's no money in that. You got to be really smart in the medical field. People think PCAs is nothing, home health aides are nothing, but some of those positions actually get to work in facilities that medical assistants don't. And because you can work in like hospitals and so forth, your pay is actually higher. So I'm currently in school to get my CNA and to get my home health aid, but I still work as an aide. So I do the work. I'm just in school to get my certification so I can get um, higher up on the pay bracket. But that's me. Anybody else?
So go back on to what Smile said as a veterinarian. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that when I was like in the sixth grade. When they called our names, they had to call our names and our career, and I chose veterinarian. Right, my mother's sister decided to say to me, "Well, then you don't like snakes or spiders, and people have snakes and spiders as pets." I said, "They do?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Mm-mm, no, thank you. I think I'm gonna find something else." And it was like every time I would tell her a new career had for me, she would always give me a little the negative like outlook to it. So that's why I stopped telling her certain things too when I was a kid. Because I told her, I said, I want to be a lawyer because I'd be a good defense lawyer. If you had one and you needed one, I could get you through it. And then she was like, it's a lot of reading into that. And I'm like, I don't like to read alone stuff. I only like to read the important stuff. And somebody's case is important. So I'm like, dang, can't do that. Then I started thinking about even though I was in school for criminal justice, I started thinking like I like to draw. And it's like a peace thing to me. I love to draw, but I like to draw cartoon characters. Like already cartoon characters like SpongeBob, Patrick, with the whole SpongeBob characters, Powerpuff Girls, and stuff like that. And then I was drawing Invader Zim and their characters there. And then I was like, I want to do animation, but I want to be the voice to it. But I would have to do art school plus voiceover, and I'm just like, it's too much just to get there. I need something like ASAP. Even though I was a kid, I wanted money. And that was the thing that was to me. I wanted to make money and how to make big money fastly. And because my name is so unique, I wanted my name to be a light. So it was like, I can't do that because it's like, it's going to take too long to get there. Then I was like, you know what? I had drew one time, I had drew my childhood home that I wanted to live in because I want my house big and I want it built from the ground up. I want it basically like four houses connected in one, how I wanted it. So then I was like, when I finally perfected it, I said, that's what I want to do. Architect. I want to do architect. I want to be an architect and create buildings and the ins and outs to buildings and homes and stuff like that. I want to create that stuff because I'm gonna make money. I looked it up on Google doing a school for architect. I'm like, okay, cool, cool, cool. I could do that. Then when it said 9 years, I said 9 years. Who about to wait 9 years to become an art? Nah, I could have done that. I should have started with that as soon as I got out of high school. I'm in my mid 20s. I can't do that. Take 9 more years from 25 to get there. I'm not because I want to be in my career by 34. So, man, what I'm gonna do? So, picking the field of law enforcement was the quickest result for me. But I do need to go back to school so that I can have a retirement career. Because I don't want to sit in the house. I don't like sitting in the house. Sitting in the house looking at four walls irritates me, makes my butt itch. And I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So therefore, I need to I need to go ahead, go to school for this while doing this. What you think here?
I mean, a lot of times in situations where you have a goal set in mind for what it is you want to do for your life and things like that. But there are obstacles that come up, whether it's the career path you chose may take longer than you expected. So you're like, I don't know if I could do that. Like for me, I wanted to get my doctorate in psychology. And I still may one day. But right now, to give another 7 years of schooling, I just don't see that in the cards for me right now. Because that's a long time. And yeah, I'm still young, but at the same time, it's like, damn, I got to do another 7 years, like 6 years of getting, my associate's bachelor's and my first master's wasn't enough. Like, if you really want to get into a career to get money to be not even just okay, but financially stable to the point where you don't have to feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck, is you, I'm not gonna say you have to get an education, but essentially, the more education you have is the more money that you're gonna get. A lot of jobs, and me being a previous manager, we was looking for those who had, you know, education in that specific field as well as experience. So if you got those two things in the career path of your choice, you may just get top dollar. But if you're fresh out of college with no experience in the social work field, um, the criminal justice field, or the medical industry, you may not necessarily get top dollar because you fresh out of school. So to them or employers is more like, well, you don't have enough experience for me to pay you top dollar, but I'll pay you, starting rate, and then you could work your way up. And a lot of people keep people stagnant at a certain rate until you get an additional degree or more certification. That's like someone who's a teacher. If they don't have the highest teaching certification, they're not about to make top dollar. They're going to get the basic teacher rate. And me personally, I feel like, teachers don't make enough money. They deal with a lot and have to do a lot. And they don't get nearly enough money, as they should. And it's crazy because at one point, between me wanting to be an accountant and going into the field of psychology, I wanted to be a special needs teacher. But when I saw, all that entailed as far as education, as far as pay and things like that, I was like, I don't know if I could do this. Because yeah, people, some people get into certain careers for the passion of it and not for the money. But to be real, like you need money to live because how you going to pay your rent? How you going to pay your light bill, your car note, or anything? You know what I mean? Like you need money to survive. So one would only want a job to where they can have money to afford their bills on top of, any extracurricular activities that they may want to take part in, like a vacation trip or just a hangout with friends or whatever the case may be. So it's like nowadays, people aren't necessarily going into careers, but more so dealing with jobs who pay them based off of their experience and education because they know they need to make ends meet. And it also depends on where you live too, because the cost of living may just be higher than, your average income. So you might have to work two jobs. So you're definitely not setting your career at that point. You could be in your career, but also got to have a part-time job just so that you can have extra money or even money to fill your gas tank up or buy groceries. Let's not talk about the inflation and the cost of damn groceries nowadays, because honey, that's a different topic. But I just feel like growing up, I saw a lot of people in careers that they love and they wasn't worried about the money. And that's to me a beautiful thing. But I'm gonna be real, for me, I'm doing it because of what I love and what I'm passionate about. But at the same time, I need to make sure that my family is taken care of as well. So I'm gonna, yes, expect to get top dollar. I'm going to make sure I get that education so that I can get top dollar. I'm going to make sure that I have that experience so that I can get top dollar. Smiles?
Uh, I agree with everybody's saying. Um, I don't know. I guess one hand, I believe that you got to be, realistic about your dreams. Sometimes you have to take different paths. And then on the other hand, I feel like each day you alive, if you really truly want something, well, there's a will, there's a way. You know what I mean? And I feel like people change career paths every day. I've seen maybe a couple of months ago, this lady, she was on drugs bad, homeless and everything, on drugs. And she just now got her GED. And she was like, what, 40? So every time I feel like this world is running out of time, because the way this society works is like you got to achieve something at a certain time. And if you don't achieve it at that time, then what, you're a loser or
Mm-hmm.
not a go-getter, or you know what I'm saying? But reading her story, reading that lady's story, it's like it's possible, because whatever is for you is going to be for you. And maybe when you was when maybe you was trying to achieve that goal way back when, maybe that wasn't your time. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to be the doctor. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to be an architect. But maybe it is now. So I really don't know. Like, life works so crazy. And things are done backwards sometimes. So I don't know. I just don't feel like people should just give up on their dream. I feel like as long as you're alive and well, you can make it happen. Now, should we be delusional? And like you said before, you want to be a rapper at 40? I mean, is that realistic? Probably not. Probably not. Is going to school for 9 years ideal? No. But you can do other things while you go to school, because there's online, especially since COVID. It's a lot of online stuff, especially, if somebody has kids. I know a lot of times their dreams are put on hold because they want to raise their kids. But after the kids is grown, they go back to school. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm optimistic. So, I mean, I just feel like as long as you're breathing, you can achieve something. But that's just my perspective on how things go. Anybody else have
Yeah,
anything to say?
yeah, I feel that also. I feel like, there's no time limit on when you should get any type of degree or any type of, high school diploma or GED. I read a story recently. A lady was in her 90s and got a degree. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like at
That's amazing.
any, for real, like at any time is of the essence. Yeah, we sometimes take it, take time for granted. But if you really want something, you're going to make time for what's important to you. So, like if you want to be that veterinarian, you're going to make time for veterinarian school and your job. Like you said, there is online school. I don't know if there's specifically any for veterinarian, but you never know what you could freaking find. Like, there's possibilities endlessly, you know? I feel like you as well. Like, don't give up on what it is that you want. Yeah, you may look at it like, damn, 9 years, that's a long time. I don't know if I could do that. Same for me, 7 years to get a doctorate. I feel like that shit right now is a long time. But what I'm doing in the meantime, I'm going for a second master's so that I can have that extra. degree with extra experience. And again, like I said, yes, I am going to go get my doctorate. Maybe I'll do it when my kids are out of school, so I don't got to worry about paying for stuff for them for school and they're adults and living their best lives or whatever. So that gives me time to focus on me. So yeah, I am gonna eventually go back for my doctorate. Right now, hell fucking no. I ain't got 9 years right now. But I'm trying to do it in a way which I feel is important. I feel like getting a secondary master's degree in social work is definitely important for the field in which I want to, continue my career in. So I felt like that's something that needed to be done first before me getting a doctorate. I still have realistic goals in mind. I still have my vision board. You know what I mean? Like, I see things through, and I just hope and pray that everybody sees things through as well. Like, literally, do not give up. It don't matter how old you are, as long as you have breath in you and you have that available time, go for it. Even if you work two full-time jobs, at some point you have to have a day off. And there are online schools that literally work with your schedule to where if you only got one day off, okay, so maybe you're going to take one class at a time. It may take you a little longer to graduate, but you still can do it because it's not extra, you know, pressure added to you to where you have to be in class online 3 or 4 times a week where they already know you only got one day available, so they only expecting you that one day. Anything is possible. If you really want something, you're gonna go for it at the end of the day. Then
So you right about that. We do need to, as kids, we probably felt like, oh, this is it. And then you got there and you was like, oh no, this not it. It's not it. I'm not doing that. And now, as adults, we're like, you know what? I could do that. I could do it right now. But it's like, yes, the cost of living is really stopping us where, what I mean, we're not able to tackle our goals right then and there. And when it comes down to like me, I gotta pay on fast food in order to go back. And it's like, I gotta pay y'all to go back now. But I was in school around 2015, 2014, 2015. I gotta go back and pay on what I already did in order to pursue a different route. And now that, what I mean, I'm getting older and my family genes are starting to kick in with bad bones and stuff like that, I can't be frontline no more. I can't be frontline like how I am right now, which is doing armed security. I can't be frontline. So I need to turn it around and do something that doesn't that's more within my gene line where I won't be out of work because I dislocated my elbow or I sprained my knee. And you know how long it takes for those things to heal as you're older. And it's like I need to do something where I don't want to sit on my butt all day. I want to do something where I'm more hands on, but at the same token, it's like I can't be solely hands on because of my genes. My genes are bad. Once you hit 30, that is it. That is it with the running around, playing on skateboards, and running and falling and getting back up, and nothing's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Once you hit 30 and you fall, you're gonna be down there for a minute. You're gonna be down there for a minute to get your bearings together.
Right. I'm all cracking up.
You're gonna be
That's
down
right.
there for a minute to get your bearings together. Like, hold on, wait. Let me slowly get up. Let me slowly think this through. And you gotta think when you fall. Like it's bad. I don't know. 30 and up, it's getting bad. It's getting
I
bad.
don't know. Mm. I don't agree. I do not. You funny as shit. I don't agree though because
I
I'm
mean,
in my
I
late
stepped off
30s.
the step wrong and I sprained my whole foot. How do you do that? How do I
It's
sprain
just
my whole
about
foot?
position. Like, maybe you're just a klutz. I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. But I think like maybe like I wouldn't say 30s because you're still young. You honestly like your body is what you make of it for real. So if you just hit 30 and you start feeling your bones aching or you twisting the ankle stepping off a step or something like that, maybe you should not funny. Maybe you should like work out more so that your bones are more stronger or something like that. Like
No,
or
you
eat
know what it
healthier
is?
or I don't know.
You know what it is? You gotta go back to stage one when you was a child and had to take vitamins before you left the house to
Yeah,
go to
for sure.
school. Now I gotta go back to doing that. Where these calcium vitamins at? And where's these? Oh my God. I hate it. I
Seriously.
hate it.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm
I can't.
It's true though, because when I hit into my 30s, I noticed that, all right, here I am at the fucking pharmacy picking up multivitamins and shit. So yeah, you're right. I get it. That's true. For sure. Like,
That's funny.
my
I mean,
nightstand has a drawer full of vitamins. And I'm just trying to figure out when did I get here? Why am I
Nah.
here?
See, I'm not about to blame the pills on age. Mine's because I got
okay.
fibromyalgia, and fibromyalgia was, well, the doctor said it was caused by trauma. So, yeah,
Mm,
this ain't got nothing to
ah,
do with no age. So I'm just being tortured to take pills
well,
to
that
feel
sucks
okay.
for sure.
Oh yeah, because people think I'm normal and all that, but we could save this for another topic because that'll be, yeah, that'll be long. Mm-mm. I ain't even gonna get into that.
I'm just trying
But
to
no,
figure out
like
why my drawer look like this.
because you over 30 said.
Man,
But I
It'll be
no
all
legit.
right.
Like I feel like you as young as you feel. And despite me being 37, I don't feel 37. Like here and there I may have an ache or something, but that's because I broke a bone or I had an injury somewhere, not because of my age. You know what I mean? I mean, I also do have three children, so they keep us active as well, and it's like I try to eat healthy. I try to walk, as often as I can and things like that. So that way, because our bodies are temples, like you take care of your body, it'll take care of you. You know what I mean? Like, even if I got to take a daily multivitamin just to make sure I'm getting all the nutrients that I need to get, I'm okay with that. They got gummies nowadays. The pills ain't as nasty as they used to be. They got gummies that taste like strawberry, so I'm good.
mm-mm.
For real, I'm just saying. Like, but that also plays into, your career of choice too. Cause like for me, I've worked like, O said she has an extensive resume. Lord knows I do. I've done almost every job but fast food. Nothing against anybody who works in fast food. Love y'all to death. It just wasn't for me. And I knew that. So I never applied to it. But I've worked in factories, had on back braces. I've sat behind computer desk and those, type of jobs take a toll on your body as well. Sitting at a job, sitting in a chair for 8 hours behind a computer screen, that shit fucks up your back. Definitely do. Or working in a warehouse to where you're standing on your feet, it takes a toll on your feet, your legs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what profession you're in, something's bound to go wrong with you physically. If you're not somebody that work in like yoga or a fitness trainer or something like that, you can count on something being wrong and you needing the extra vitamin for sure. An extra set of calcium or B12. Like you may need that extra boost. Over time, your bones tend to break down if there's so much pressure on them. Speaking from experience, for me, I have to get a breath augmentation because my lower backbones were deteriorating because of the stress that the work that I was doing put on my body. Am I in any pain? Hell no, I feel amazing these days. So hence again, why I feel so youthful, because all that pressure is relieved. And I'm not doing the job that I used to do, where I was standing on my feet all day or sitting in front of a computer for 8 to 12 hours a day. Did
I'm just over here looking at my nightstand right now, and I'm just looking at these vitamins I gotta take. I'm just yeah, I got the
Oh, yes,
biotin, I
yeah.
got the
Yo,
calcium,
I'm done.
I got the women's. It's just too much. You know what I mean?
Listen,
It's
tell
just
the
too
world how
much.
old
I'm
you
just
are again.
There's
How
nothing
old
wrong
are
with
you
I'm
again?
on,
vitamins.
and I'm the youngest one in the group, and I should not have to
Exactly.
take all this vitamin D and
I
stuff,
can't.
and just it's just I got too many bottles of vitamin D right now. So am I getting enough vitamin D? You know what I mean? It's just
Take your ass outside.
like
Go the fuck outside. That's
I
all
don't
the
get a
know.
little
vitamin D you
sun.
need.
I
Yeah,
go
a little
We
outside.
need a
sun.
little sun.
No, I don't know what to
No.
do, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. I didn't know, as a kid that I would have to endure this, you know. So I should have, what I mean, as a kid, I should have thought a little bit more. I knew that my mom, my grandma and them had these bone problems and stuff like that. And I knew it was a possibility that I could get it. So as a kid, I should have just thought a little bit more within my career aspect of things. And when I hit the 12th grade, I didn't know where I was going. And I hurried up and picked something versus not having nothing, you know? So I think that was my downfall to everything. Picking something, not having nothing. And
Yeah.
that's why I fell where I fell at, you know? So needless to say, I'm gonna keep taking these vitamins until I find a career for me where I ain't got.
Okay. Okay. Now, what? That's your conclusion? Take vitamins until you find your career path?
Yes, yes. I'm sorry.
I am done.
Look,
I'm
I'm
What?
opening
done.
the pills while talking to y'all. I'm taking gummies right
I'm
now.
dead. I
Pass me
want to
one.
say
Pass me one.
I wanted to say something in regards to our children. Do you
Say what?
guys, here I go with these questions again, but y'all
Uh-huh.
got them.
Here we go.
Do you guys
Ooh,
pressure your kids to know, or will you pressure your kids to know what it is they want to do leaving high school? I'm going to answer
no,
first. For
no.
me, I don't.
Yeah.
I literally tell my kids, like, whatever it is that you want to do, as long as you got a goal in mind, you can do anything you want to do. And I told them, I said, even if right after high school you don't go off to college to further your education and whatever path you choose, at least make sure you have a job so that you're continuing your financial responsibility to oneself. Because eventually, yes, you're going to move out and have your own place and things like that. So make sure, you know, you have a job. And a lot of jobs, they start off at 15 nowadays. So they can have a job from 15 to graduation and thereafter and possibly get more money because now they have a high school diploma. So
Hmm.
it's like, I personally don't be like, oh, you need to know what it is you want to do by the time you graduate. No, because that's just setting them up to fail. Because the way the world going today, ain't no guarantees or promises in any career, for real, for real.
True.
But I just want to know what y'all think, or what, how
Um,
do you guys approach that
so
situation?
so for me, when I found out that kids can actually get their associate's degree while being in high school, I was like, okay. I'm gonna see that my kids or the kids I'm raising are aware of this opportunity that they can take heed to. They can graduate with a high school diploma and their associate's degree. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm a let them know that you got this opportunity sitting in front of you. Please don't let no opportunity that sits in front of you that's a good opportunity to just let it go by like that, because you're gonna regret it. You're gonna be like, God dang, I mean, when I was this age and I had this opportunity to get this, I chose to not take advantage of it, and I went this other way. I don't want them to be like how I am. I'm like, dang, man, you know what? If I could go back in time, knowing damn well I can't go back in time. But that's what we do as we get older. We just like, if I could go back to this age, I'll do it this way. And I might take that opportunity to do this and do that. So I want the kids to understand that when you have an opportunity sitting in front of you, try to take heed to it and move above it. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Smiles?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. I wouldn't rush my child to figure it out. What I want them to do, he or she, I want them to think about things, have, a little set plan, the basics of it, but I don't want them to necessarily stress themselves out because you truly figure out who you are as a person in your 20s. So I think finding a career path for, your children, I just feel like they need to take time. The way society is going, a lot of jobs that, is accessible now, it might not be when they get of age. Things change all the time. Like back in the days, it's so different. Now there's content creators. There's people that's on social media making money off of that. It's not a lot of people in factories, not a lot of people doing retail. And if they are, they're doing it from their home. They own businesses. It's more self-made people now versus when we was growing up. So I don't know. I think the kids will have to adapt to their time. When they get of age, they will have to adapt, and I will help them figure things out because I know that this world is going to change by the time they get and reach high school. It's going to change. So, but I do agree with you. Then whatever is available, get on it because that opportunity may not last long. So I definitely agree with that.
I have to say I agree with all of you, both of you. Um, you know, for my son, my 19-year-old, he's worried about being in debt. And I understand because of everything that's going on today. So there's a lot of opportunities out there to educate yourself without spending money. You have to network and like really do research. I was listening to a radio show and it's a black radio show and they have different black business owners come on there. And this gentleman was on there and he was talking about, how much college costs and everything, but he has this website that helps you find school at a lesser price or will help you find the deals that's within the college that they don't tell you about. So, I don't know. I just think our kids should network. I stand with my son. I might not totally disagree with his decision or why he didn't attend the college that he chose. He went for one day, and him going one day, he is in debt of $3,300. And I could never understand why, but that's how the schools are. He went one day and he owes $3,300. And,
Wow.
that I guess he took that and he's like, Ma, I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life just to have somebody teach me something that I could probably teach myself. He's like, I could educate myself, and I'm sure there's other ways around than, spending $50,000 on an education that I might can't use. Like, and he's like, look at
Mhm.
your situation. He's like, you went to school and you graduated with a B average and you didn't even get to use any of your education. He's like, I just don't want that for myself. So I totally
Yeah.
get it. It's really scary for our kids today, but I want to let the people know that there's things out there. You have to just put yourself out there. You have to search. There's 211. Use Google. That's what she's there for. Start searching stuff. There's things
Right.
out there, you know, put yourself in different groups. If you're into social media, there's all kind of groups online for things such as that. Like, people know things. Just because you don't know don't mean somebody else don't know. Start asking questions before signing paperwork and say, okay, go get your education. Stop pushing your children to spend this money when there's other ways to not have to spend that money, but still get the same quality of education. So I just wanted to say that to answer the question and to put a little of my 2 cents in.
Okay, I agree definitely. You know, there are millions of scholarships, grants that people don't know about. You left-handed, you get a scholarship. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many, so many scholarships that are unbeknownst to us. So we sign up for financial aid and we get, grants, but at the same time with financial aid, you get a grant and a loan. So that loan you definitely got to pay back. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I wasn't aware of just how many scholarships were available until I was already in, going towards my second degree. I'm like, well, damn, had I known this, I would have applied for everything that I was eligible for or qualified for. Because I don't want to be in debt either. Because literally, once I get into my career, that just means I'm working to pay back the money to go to school to get here. So it's like, definitely, like O said, use Google, network, team up with your peers, and find out more information. Talk to your counselors at school because they have more information too to give in regards to how many scholarships are available. Some states have their own scholarships. Some cities and counties have scholarships. You know what I mean? Like, I'm recently finding this stuff out just by doing my own research. So it's like, our youth, in a sense, have better opportunities of getting a greater education because there are that much more scholarships and grants and things like that available now than they were in the beginning of my schooling career anyway. But this has been an amazing topic. I appreciate everyone's intake. I was shocked by some of the responses in regards to what you guys wanted to do as a kid versus what you want to do or what you are doing as an adult. A lot of them were the same, and that's cool. For me, it wasn't, and that's cool too. But we thank you guys for listening. We love you. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tell a friend and tell a friend. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube. All platforms are available. Until next time.
Later.
Peace out.